So what a lot of people don't know about San Gabriel is the fact that it's in New Mexico. So it's on the west side, but it's in New Mexico. So you have the low property taxes. Not only that, in San Gabriel, we were able to purchase all the lots in there. So we are the only builder in that community. So yeah, sometimes it's good living in a community where there's 5, 6, 7 different builders, but there's different styles of homes, and that's something that you don't get in San Gabriel, right? That's something that in San Gabriel you already know that you're going to get the beautiful point homes quality, the cantera, the tile roof, and all the amenities on the interior of the home. So I'm really, really excited about this product knowledge, just because I want the team to continue pushing this subdivision, and I want you guys to see what Haciendas San Gabriel is all about. So, what are some of the advantages of living in Haciendas San Gabriel?
I think one of the most important advantages is going to be your property taxes. Everybody's talking about high interest rates going up, but what we failed to take a look at is the taxes. New Mexico offers some huge tax benefits in regards to your payment. So that's probably my number one.
So how do you get to Haciendas San Gabriel if you're looking for west side living?
Well, it's actually quite simple, Mario. You're going to take I-10 down, exit 13, which is Sunland Park. Take Sunland Park down, and you'll pass the state line, turn right on Futurity, and that road will take you directly into the neighborhood.
What are some of the advantages of being the only builder in that neighborhood?
Well, you definitely know the type and the quality of home that the neighbors are going to live in, what's going to be in the area. So what that equates to is your property holding its value a lot longer. You're not going to have this beautiful semi-custom home, and then next door to you is going to be a one-car garage. You know what I mean? You're going to have the product, the value, and what type of home is going to be right next to you.
So I know a lot of people talk about west side living, and they want to be on this side of the mountain. They want to be on the Sunland Park side, or Cimarron, Enchanted Hills. What would you say one of the biggest benefits of San Gabriel is in comparison to these other subdivisions?
For me, it's commute times. Sunland Park alone, Sunland Park Road, there's not very much traffic. So versus other communities, it's going to take you 10-15 minutes to get to where you got to go. From San Gabriel, you're 2-3 minutes from Western Playland, 2-3 minutes from Sunland Park Casino, and you're about 5 minutes to Sunland Park Mall, which actually just got bought out. Very exciting. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but you're real close to everything. Low traffic, so that's definitely a plus for me.
And the low things that I keep hearing: low traffic, low taxes. How do you think that's impacting, especially today's buyer? How is that impacting their ability to purchase the lower taxes in New Mexico?
Yeah, well, a lot of the times buyers are just focused on what's my interest rate, but in reality, you need to take a look at the taxes too. That plays a huge part in your payment. If you look at whenever you have to make your payment, if you look at it, tax is a majority of that payment.
Yeah.
So that's something that we tend to overlook, but something that is very important.
Exactly.
So Mario, I noticed you do product knowledge every week or every Wednesday for the entire team. What's the purpose behind it, or what do you think that the team is trying to get out of it?
Yeah, so the reason we started these product knowledge Wednesdays, okay, number one is we do represent one of the largest builders in El Paso. And one thing that really bothers me is used to bother me, and I'm sure bothers a lot of agents now, is when they show up to show with their clients. They show up to another builder's model home, and the agent doesn't know their product. They don't know what's in the area. They don't know what their home, how their homes are built, and of course every single home is different. Every single subdivision is different. So you may be buying a house in Haciendas San Gabriel or a house in Socorro, and the house is going to be different just by the features that are available and that are put into the home, right? So we do this every Wednesday. We go to different subdivisions throughout El Paso, so our team knows how to properly serve the clients that walk through that door. Not only the clients, we can also serve our realtor partners. If a realtor brings a client over to a Point Homes model home, they know that we're going to be able to deliver a quality presentation. We're going to be able to deliver a quality home, and in the end, they can be a little bit hands-off. They can say, here you go, here's my client, show them your product. And if we have a great presentation, which we do, and we have a great product, which we do, along with the incentives that are currently available, we're able to, get people in their memory-making home. That's basically why we started doing this product knowledge series.
So basically making it as easy as possible for our realtor community to sell our product.
As easy as possible, correct. The market has shifted on us, guys. It really has. And we're at a point where we used to just put up a sign, 10 offers, 15 offers. Now we got to get back to doing the work. Especially all these move-in ready homes, guys. We want to associate ourselves with like-minded people, guys. Okay? Like-minded people that want the same goals, that have the same energy, that have the same hunger. Let's get to some inventory knowledge. We have Rocky Mountain, Fernando, of course, but Rocky Mountain Mortgage here for all of your needs when it comes to pre-qualification. Guys, it's very, very important to have a good relationship with a loan officer.
We're starting to, from a corporate standpoint, we're starting to look at getting a little bit more aggressive with rates. We are here to support you, whatever you need.
Great source of knowledge right here, guys. I asked him about the difference in payment from Texas to New Mexico. Send me all that info, so Christian and I are working on getting some flyers done. That way you can see a comparison or show a comparison to all the different buyers and stuff. And hey, you can get this house for this much in Texas or this in New Mexico.
We can do flyers for any particular property that you're sitting on. Mm-hmm. And the one thing about doing the flyers too, it has some payment examples on there. Mm-hmm. And we can adjust the rates and get the rate adjusted on the flyer.
So today's episode, we're actually talking to the community specialist for Haciendas San Gabriel. Earlier today, we were out in the subdivision and we were looking at, just the different features, the different homes that are available out there. So without further ado, Erik Gomez, how are you, man?
Hello, hi. Hello, everybody. Great to be back on the podcast, Mario.
Right? Yeah. I mean, this time we're on it for a different reason, right? Last time it was a different type of episode. Today we're talking specifically about your community within the Point Home structure, which is Haciendas San Gabriel. What can you tell us about that community, man?
Well, I love that community, and for a bunch of reasons. But if I had to narrow it down, one of them being the location itself is so close to the racetrack, to Western Playland. To Sunland Park Mall, just the location in general is probably one of my favorite aspects of it. Mm-hmm. But there's also the aspect of the tax savings, which is huge. The comparison of buying a house in New Mexico versus Texas is quite a bit. So that's another one of my favorite parts about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, just from knowledge, and don't quote me on this one, right? But from me selling out there and different clients telling me about it, it's El Paso is close to 3% in property taxes, right?
Correct.
And Hacienda San Gabriel is closer to right under 1%.
Correct, a little under 1. I think it was like 0.78, somewhere around there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that definitely makes a big difference in your monthly payment. Sometimes you're saving, $300-$400 a month, which can ultimately go to your home, right? Instead to the principal of the home instead of to taxes and to property taxes or interest, things like that, right?
Correct, yes. Uh-huh.
right now with the trying time, it's right now it's tough out there for everyone, right? Everybody's talking interest rate. Everybody's talking, there's a crisis coming when it comes to inventory and whatnot. But how do you feel that Hacienda San Gabriel helps people in regards to that lower tax bracket?
How does it help in regards to the lower tax?
Yeah. How's that helping their payments?
It's a huge advantage for the consumer. Instead of paying those taxes, like you said, you can apply that to the principal and pay that off a lot quicker. So there's definitely a lot of advantages purchasing in that neighborhood versus 5 minutes down the road where you're in Texas, because that neighborhood is located, maybe 2 minutes from the Texas-New Mexico border. So the great thing about that neighborhood is that you can be in New Mexico, but then in Texas as soon as you need to be, because most of us living in El Paso, we border, Juarez, New Mexico, and Texas. It's a huge advantage when you can just drive 5 minutes down the road and be where you need to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know we started off strong. We started talking about the subdivision and whatnot. But tell us just a little bit more about yourself in the real estate business. How long have you been doing real estate? How long have you been a listing agent for a builder? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Damn, about to show my age, man.
Oh.
But in the real estate business, I want to say 11 years now.
Okay.
10 of those years as a listing agent. So majority of my real estate career, I've been doing new homes. It's what I found my niche in. It's what I love. It's what I feel, I don't want to say comes easy, but it's a little bit easier for me, I guess, because I've done it for so long.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. And then, I know that you're an investor. Even last week you were on that, the panel for the Moment conference, which, congratulations on that. How have you been able to build a team around you to help you? Because as being a listing, I know that you can't do it on your own. I have a strong team that supports me, all my listing agents and my agents at the brokerage. How have you built that team to really give you that support that you need?
So for me, and I learned this early on in my career, is that you got to take care of the people that take care of you. So if I don't sell in that community, it's not just my family that doesn't eat. It's everybody else under me. And that goes all the way down. It starts from the bottom to, the guys that are doing your plumbing, your slabs, the framers, the roofers, all the way up to the salespeople and then the builder as well. So I feel like it's a huge responsibility being a listing agent, because I'm not just responsible for my own family. I'm responsible for those guys and their families as well. So if we don't sell, then nobody gets to eat.
Exactly.
So I've taken a huge team approach on it, and I've taken care of my people, making sure that they're fed. I give them majority of the leads. I help them with them, but I give them to them. That way I make sure their families are taken care of.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's definitely a good aspect of it, right? Helping your team grow along with you, not just, I'm growing on my own, because I have seen the so-called, and not just here, in different companies in different cities and whatnot, the so-called team leader where only the leader is the one eating good, And I noticed that that's not something that's happening in this case. Everybody, the wealth gets spread around. And now jumping back forward, like right into back to the San Gabriel thing. How do I get to Hacienda San Gabriel? If, let's say, I'm driving from here from the east side and I'm heading over, how do I get to Hacienda San Gabriel?
Yeah, so it's a quick drive. Heading west, you're going to pass UTEP. You're going to exit Sunland Park. Once you get to the lights of Sunland Park, you're going to turn left and go down towards Doniphan. Once you pass Doniphan, go over the train tracks, past the State Line Barbecue, which is really good, by the way. It'll be on your right-hand side. There's a street called Futurity. Directly across from Western Playland, directly across from the racetrack and casino. You take Futurity down, and that will take you right into my model.
Okay. Yeah. So the model home is right on Futurity, right?
Correct.
Cool. And what kind of right now? How many homes do you have out there? What's your starting price?
So starting price out there is going to be $415,000.
Okay.
Right now, I do have several move-in ready homes. I've got homes in frame. I've got some in sheetrock and some to build from the ground up as well. So we've got just about anything that you guys are looking for, or even you realtors that are looking for something for your clients. We've got everything for you guys.
Okay. Now, and just from the flow of contracts that I've seen in that area, I've noticed one thing, and it's probably in this community is where it's happening the most, which is contingencies, right? And for those of you that don't know out there, what a contingency is when somebody has to sell their current home in order to purchase your home, making the purchase of the new home a contingent, right? Why do you think we have that phenomenon so much out there?
Well, everybody out there is your second, third time home buyer.
Okay.
So in order to close on the new home, they have to sell their current one, and they like to use those funds to qualify for the next home. And what I've seen out there a lot too is that people that live out there, their parents have houses out there, or they grew up around there. They love to stay in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And that neighborhood's a very quiet, very peaceful neighborhood. And people just love being out there, and they don't want to leave that area for some reason.
Yeah. You know, that happened to us with Miss Hemley, I think, that, you know, she grew up, or her dad lived not too far from the subdivision, so she had to be in the subdivision. She, you know, I'm gonna buy whatever I have to, I'm gonna pay whatever I have to pay, but I want to be in the subdivision. And I do feel like that's the sentiment around that area. Like, I grew up here, I've always lived here. I'm already used to here, and they don't want to leave. You know, they call New Mexico the land of enchantment for a reason, right? And I really do feel like people that grew up in the area, they don't want to leave that area. That's a crazy phenomenon that we have in that particular subdivision. What do you think?
Well, yeah, and then you take the Mexican culture involved with that as well. Mexican people like to live right next door to each other, you know. They don't want to be too far from mom or too far from dad. So you add that together, and alongside growing up there, people just want to stay. You know, it's very interesting out there.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, and I know Christian's behind the cameras, and he's like, do not talk about this. Do not talk about this, right? But that area is it's a hub. That entire little area there is a hub for cannabis dispensaries, legal cannabis dispensaries. You know, let's throw in the word legal there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but just the job growth that is coming to New Mexico, which is part of the reason why Point Homes took such a strong approach in the New Mexico market, both in Rancho Santa Teresa, which you're very, very familiar with, which is on what's it called? McNutt and Country Club Road, which we have homes there starting in the low 300s, right? And of course, Haciendas San Gabriel, where you mentioned earlier is your second or third time home buyer. You know, what do you think of all the growth that is coming to that area of New Mexico, specifically Sunland Park, because of the cannabis legalization?
Yeah, well, I mean, every other week I'm getting a call from cannabis companies that are looking for spaces to lease around the area. You know, with Western Playland just getting bought out, I think that company is going to do some really big. They got some big plans for that area.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't. I think there's going to be a lot of growth in the area. So you know, what I always say is you want to get in early before it's too late. You know, so I think a lot of people are noticing that. It's kind of like how Zaragoza first took off. You know, people were in there real early on, and they made a lot of money by being in there early on. So that's what I kind of see happening out there in San Gabriel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, talking about purchasing and whatnot, recently, and you mentioned it earlier to me, Sunland Park, which is 5 minutes away from Haciendas San Gabriel, recently got bought out. Mm-hmm. And have you seen the list of the different places that are coming to Sunland Park?
So I saw like a wish list from everybody, like
Mm-hmm.
Cheesecake Factory, of course, all that stuff. But I haven't seen the actual, you know, what's really going to come.
Isn't there, what's it called? It's the one for kids at Sunland Park.
Rock. Yeah,
Monkey Rock.
Yeah, great place to go.
I've seen their ads, and it looks really, really cool. I think I'm going to have to take the kids there.
I actually stopped by to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Marketing Hunters. I stopped by to check it out, but they've got like virtual golf, virtual games. They've got your old school games there. They've got rock climb. They've got all kinds of stuff. It's a bowling alley as well. They've got
Yeah.
a bowling alley inside, a full bar also. So it's a great place to be.
Especially nowadays when you're looking to do something with the family, right? Because I personally, I'm a Horizoner, right? I live on Horizon, but my son loves to go to Bobo's, which is also
Right down the street.
down the street from Haciendas San Gabriel. Dad, take me to Bobo's. Dad, like, I feel like if you live in this area, you're never gonna be like, you have Western Playman there, you have Bobo's down the street, you have this new mall coming up, and all the different developments that are going, Montecillo, the Elmont, you have the Alamo
Golf.
Draft House, Top Golf, all that area there.
Fly, yeah.
And the views at night, that's one thing, because my dad lives in Hacienda San Gabriel. And I've gone over to his house, and we're there just chilling at night. And the views are something that are, it's a little bit different. It's not necessarily your top of the mountain view, but just the way the entire, the mountain, the way you can see the mountain from your either front porch or backyard in Hacienda San Gabriel, unobstructed views, truly unobstructed views of the Franklin Mountains and of Mount Cristo Rey, which is also, 5-10 minutes away?
Yeah, a huge landmark in El Paso.
Exactly.
And from some of our homes that we have in the area, you can actually see that from the bedrooms, which is a great selling point. Or if you guys are thinking about doing Airbnbs or rental properties, it's a great selling point. If you're an investor coming in trying to buy. So
Yeah. One thing that we were talking about off camera, and I want to bring up a little bit, is how do you think it either benefits or hinders you, the fact that in Hacienda San Gabriel, Point Homes is the only builder. We don't have any competition in there, which I see it as a blessing, because we were talking about it earlier, the fact that that when there's only one builder, there's really one message in regards to quality around the subdivision. Because Hacienda San Gabriel, and I'll ask Christian for this portion of the podcast to put up a plat map of it, right? But it's just one big loop, and there's 50 houses in this big loop, right? And they're all by one builder. What do you think of that, and how does that benefit you when it comes to selling your product?
well, it's for me, I think it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Yes, I love the fact that Point Homes is the only builder in there, because I know what I'm going to buy, or I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get that quality. Every other house is going to be just like mine, so the house values are going to tend to keep their value. But at the same time, there's no other builders helping out with the marketing, so a lot of the funds, a lot of the dollars go into bringing in those people versus in your typical neighborhood where you've got 10, 15 other builders that can bring in those people.
Yeah.
Here in San Gabriel, it's just one builder, but at the same time, I mean, I'd rather be next door to a Point Home than any other home. You know what I mean? And when I say that, I truly mean that, because I would never tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And what did I do? I bought a Point Home in Socorro as an investment property.
Yeah.
So I can honestly attest to that.
Yeah.
I believe in my product. I believe in the builder.
Of course. Yeah, and like you said, the last thing you want is you taking your hard-earned dollars into because there's a lot of people that, we mentioned it earlier, there's the Kia, and then there's the Mercedes, right? There's the going out of business sale. We'll give you this, buy our homes. And then there's the Mercedes or the Bentley that they don't need all the commercials with all the promotions and the going out of business sale. And my home being next to one of those homes, I think sometimes is really a testament of the character of the neighborhood, if you will.
Well, I think that because I live on the Far East, right? And I bought my house. It was my first house. I bought it years ago, and my neighbors, they're both rental houses. They would park their junk cars on their their lawns and stuff, and where their landscaping was. You won't see that out there in San Gabriel. You won't see that because it's a little bit more quality, more bells and whistles, a little bit of a semi-custom feel out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right off the bat, give me looking into this camera right here.
1 minute drill.
Your 5 top reasons why you should live in San Gabriel.
My top 5 reasons, I would say location, taxes, I would say the quality of the home, the house values, and the beautiful views.
Boom, 1 minute drill.
1 minute drill, bro. Gotta
Yeah.
break down.
I mean, like I said, we don't have much else to talk about in regards to this one. This is going to be a different podcast just because we're taking probably 15, 20 minutes here talking about it, sitting down face to face. But this was more of a very hands-on episode. We drove out there. We recorded the drive. We actually sat there with the team explaining why we do the Wednesday product knowledge trainings every single Wednesday here at MAREG. And then, we took the team out and everybody was recording their videos and just posting about this particular neighborhood. So I think you guys are in for a treat with this video. If they want to get a hold of you for these New Mexico properties, Erik, where can they reach you?
Best way to reach me is, you can call me at all times, and this, Mario.
He means all times, guys.
All times, guys. 11 at night.
Yeah.
You can call me, and even if I'm in the shower, I'll freaking answer. Don't FaceTime me, but I'll answer. But anyway, you can reach me at 915-549-6056. That's my personal cell number. A lot of the times I'm on the other line, so shoot me a text, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible.
Cool. Cool. And without further ado, thank you very, very much for coming on the podcast. But if anybody is looking for any homes starting in the low 300s in New Mexico, all the way to the mid 400s in New Mexico, give Erik a call. Take a look at the inventory. Don't be scared by those interest rates. Don't be scared by what's going on out there. I think the best thing you can do is sit down, talk to a professional, talk to one of our agents, talk to one of our loan officers, and see what your buying power truly is. Don't discourage yourself before even coming to the table. Take a look at the inventory. Take a look at the homes, okay? And then take a look at your possibilities. Let's find a reason for why you should buy. Let's stop finding reasons for why you shouldn't buy.